So, congrats. You actually captured some leads. You've been listening to class. You've been buying a package somewhere. You've been hustling the neighborhoods, but you finally got some leads in a bucket. And now you need to know how you build a database or what do you do with it. Sometimes I got to be honest with you. Securing the leads is just the easy part. And if there's one thing years of experience has taught me, this is where the sales begins. The time, the patience, these are all going to be your best friends when it comes to real estate lead nurturing. And that's why I've put together some simple strategies for you, something to kind of kick you over the edge there. Stop coming up with new ideas if you don't have to. Here's the wheel. Drive it. But first, we probably better dive in just a little bit as to what lead nurturing actually is. When you consider how to nurture real estate leads, particularly, I want you to think of this as real estate relationship building. While you might be using a strategy akin to a sales funnel or leading to a prospect from the capture to close format, or you're forming a genuine connection that will hopefully create that long-lasting relationship, you need this to yield referral business. So I want you to expose yourself to the understanding that it's not about the first point of contact, it's about the second set of business structures that you're trying to build to put together. So the goal of lead nurturing is to be the agent who your leads call when they are ready to make a move. This is going to be where that patience really pays off. The results from the genuine foundation on what your relationship was built on is what's going to yield the first steps. And I want to talk about the major interest points, and awareness is going to be number one. In your initial stages, leads are just going to be learning about your services. They're looking for information. They're looking for a resource. They want to have that I got a guy in their pocket. But ultimately, they need the education from you. They have no idea how your business is managed or how your business is organized. And because of that, they're going to need to be able to review things like your real estate website, your search online capabilities. They're going to look at your social media profiles, and they're going to see if they like your style. Are you comedic? Are you all serious? Are you just business? Are you just education? Do you have a niche? This is where they're going to figure out who you are and whether or not they're going to be compatible with your business working style. Interest. The next step is going to be when a lead shows interest in working with you. They might call you. They may attend an open house just to see you in operational capacity. Your goal at that point is going to be to build a relationship with a lead and address any questions they may have. Can you be their go-to knowledge agent, their advisor? Consideration. Once a lead knows their needs, they're going to research possible solutions. If they're a seller lead, for example, they're going to consider if you've sold properties similar to theirs. They're going to see how many listings may you have had. How many listings have you had at the same time? During this stage in the development, they're actively going to be looking for options. They're going to compare feature sets. They're going to compare cost. They're going to try to best fit you inside their needs and their budget. Then comes conversion. You've been waiting for this stage. Finally, you convert the lead into a client. You've gone from conversation to paper, from contact to contract. At this point, you're going to have a new client sign all of the necessary representation paperwork. And if you're in real estate now, late 2024, that is very different than where we were 6 months ago. You having paperwork to represent your relationship with a client is paramount to you being able to do any business with them. You now, as a real estate agent, to stay within legal compliances, must have a representation agreement. Listing agents have always had it. Buyer's agents have always had the capability of using these forms, but never did. Now, it's a must on both sides of the fence. Buyer's agents have had to step up their rhetoric. They've had to step up their sales game earlier in the process. It's not just about, I'm a buyer's agent, I'm just going to go show you the home that you found on Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever. Now it's about, have I sold myself and my capabilities to you and built a level of trust that you're willing to sign on the dotted line to have that relationship? Then finally, closing. The final stage. This is when you're going to start actively working directly with the client to help them reach their real estate goals. From the contract to the close, that process of being under contract, chosen the home, everything that is going to, now the rocky roads of this relationship kick off, and your ability to manage still a very safe customer experience while they're in the back seat reading over paperwork. Can you drive and avoid the potholes and the last minute animals that walk in front of this vehicle for closing that you're driving, and still give them a worthwhile ride and experience to their destination? The idea of nurturing leads for months or even years is a tedious process. But if you track your process, if you manage the process of each lead, and you understand where they are in your lead funnel, it is going to help you stay efficient and consistent. You're going to start from awareness, right at the very beginning, right at the top of the funnel. Your strategic approach is going to propel every single lead toward the closing stage in no time. Strategies and tools. Let's talk through it. Now that you've set your systems and processes in place, most of you that follow my channel are not brand new real estate agents, but that's about to change. Most of you are seasoned professionals. You've been in the game for a little while, and you're just trying to modernize your efforts. You're trying to get out of the same old routines that you've done for years, that this has worked well for me, and trying to set yourself up for a better season. And if you're like I am, this is the closing season of 2024. I am setting myself up for 2025. If I haven't gotten all my business wrapped up and my final deals are closing for the year, I have failed myself and my business model. Tip number one for getting yourself ready for that is to make absolutely sure your database and your CRM is clean and it is ready to continue to do business for you. Clean out all the leads that have not had contacts, transfer your leads wherever you've got to transfer them, but get them all centralized, get them in a solid place for you to be able to do business while you're asleep. You need to transfer all of your leads, all of your clients to some type of CRM, and it's a great way to ensure that you are on top of your outreach and all of your communication efforts. When you've got a real CRM, you're going to have all of your info and all of your data at your fingertips whenever you need it. It needs to be portable. It needs to be mobile. You need to be able to add new leads on the fly, because you never know when you're just filling up the car with gas at the highest prices we have seen in this country, or just at the grocery store buying the most expensive steak that you have ever bought, and it's still listed as sirloin. Your business model needs to have shifted with the changes in the economy that has happened in this country. Are you adding more value, or are you just adding additional cost? CRM is going to help you stay on top of your value proposition. You're going to be creating that personalized system that suits how you do business. However, automating the transfer of leads from text to emails, etc., however you decide to go about that, it needs to be able to save you time, save you effort, and follow a repeating process. Here is what your CRM needs to be doing for you. It must be a lead capture system. It's got to be able to create a pipeline for you to be able to segment and organize your leads so that you know where they are in the sales process, in the sales funnel. There are many real estate lead generation platforms to choose from, a cajillion, if that's a real word. Find the one that is not complicated, that suits your needs, that are not giving you a ton of additional capabilities that you're never going to use. And I'm going to go back to my Microsoft days. I'm going to give you an understanding. You had the entire Microsoft suite at your disposal. You had Word, you had Excel, you had PowerPoint. You didn't know how to do any of it. You knew how to type up a document. Occasionally, you could do some basic math and some cute formulas that you learned on YouTube in Excel. You didn't even know that PowerPoint could push all that information to it and create a presentation for your old job life. Stop buying software that is out compatible for your needs. 5,000 feature sets that you're not going to actually use is a waste of your time and your money. You need to find a CRM that supports your style of doing business and can add capabilities later if you need them. No reason for you to pay for them today. You're not going to change your business model overnight. But if you can trickle in a couple of new hits later on, ooh, I'd like to add texting. Ooh, I'd like to add some automation like a newsletter. Ooh, I'd like to be able to add just one more opportunity for me to send out a mailer without me having to handwrite the envelope. Outreach and follow-up. Once you have leads in your database, you're going to need to use that system to communicate as often as possible. Automate the drip campaign through your CRM so that it provides a series of follow-up touch points, whatever word terminology you're going to use. It's going to help you build trust. It's going to keep that value. It's going to keep you top of mind. Yes, when they open up their text, they need to see text from you. When they open up their email, they need to see that something came from you and your brokerage. When they see you walking down the street, they need to recognize your face because they've seen you on the phone, on the YouTube, on the social media platforms, and in their email box. If you haven't done any of it, and you're just doing the onesie, twosie business throughout your business year, then that's the only agent you're going to be. Prioritization. You need to prioritize the leads that are likely to convert. Essentially, rank them. Based on the user's activity and their responses, a good CRM is going to help you prioritize the lead. It's going to either use some tagging or give you an additional comptroller number. So leads that I know have a better chance are hot leads or warm leads or cold leads or frozen leads. CRM comes with some nice predictive analyses as well, and they might be able to show you some of the likelihood and the predictability of sellers that might be willing to list their homes, for example. You want a system that does all of those things for you without overcomplicating it, because I'm telling you, if every time you open up your system, all you see is complication, you're not going to use it. You want to know why most people don't use social medias? It's complicated. You want to know why TikTok is exploding out there and it's got so many users? Because it's easy. People like easy. They like simplicity. They like being able to bring something to market for them to use immediately and look like a professional when they're doing it. That's going to increase your conversion rate. A quick pro tip. Grow your database with a steady stream of affordable, exclusive real estate leads from your social media ads. We've talked about it in other classes. Here's the way that you can get all that started. Here's the way you can get that opportunity. Funnel back to that class, and that'll give you some of the stepping points that you need to make sure that you are socially aware of the capabilities that you have out there. A good producer is designed to help you create high volume of leads and move them through a pipeline when they're ready. It's going to be able to connect you to an average of 30 to 50 consumers every single month so you can have active conversations. These are all things that you want to be able to do. Tip number 2, utilize that phone of yours that you're on TikTok and that you're on social media constantly for to make phone calls. While methods of communications have changed over the years, there is still a huge value in just a good old-fashioned phone call. When you receive a lead, call it. Call it as soon as possible. If you need to help start a conversation, practice a few phone scripts, get some of that cold nervousness out of your system. So before you start taking on those leads, you're going to be prepared with some questions. They want to hear that you're actively ready to do business. If you can't get through, send a text message, a follow-up to a phone call, set an additional call for yourself. Some people might initially prefer to communicate that way. Until you actually text them, you're never going to find out. Phone call check-ins also need to be a regular part of your follow-up process. As helpful as this is, it's also the generative property that all of you are going to need to start building relationships. Remember to stay up to date on your do not call list. If a lead is on the do not call list, especially in real estate, you need to respect their wishes. If they want you to contact them, they will reach out after your initial attempt and then stop. If you're contacting them too much, in their opinion, and they want you to stop, please respect the pushback. Number 3, drip campaigns. When you are setting up drip campaigns, emails, drip campaign text messages, it's great to keep things interesting for your recipients. Mix it up a little bit. Try 10 different targeted emails. Strategically space them out over days or weeks. It's not about blowing them up. It's about finding that sweet spot for communication where you're going to stay top of mind without overwhelming or, quite honestly, pissing them off. Email day 1 should be just like an introduction to you and your services. Hey, sure you got my message. Wanted to make sure that you knew who I was and why I was contacting you. Email 2, day 3. Listings in your area that have sold in the last 3 months. Here's some stats about how quickly these sold and how much they sold for. Email number 3 on day 6. How about just a little information packet about either your services or some of the things that are going on in your area? Email 4, day 8. Send a link to receive a free home valuation report or a CMA or whatever you're calling it in your state. But essentially, you need to get an opportunity to give them an evaluation of their property or an evaluation of properties they may be interested in if you're a buyer's agent. Email 5 should be somewhere around day 11 or 12. Show examples of homes sold and marketing tactics that helped contribute to how they sold. The key to a solid drip campaign is simply remembering to create that lasting relationship. Give them information that they care about. And yeah, if there's holidays coming up, if the holidays are coming up, pay attention, kids. It's October. We're sitting here together in class. You need to know what time of the year it is. Get that awareness built up. Here is the perfect excuse for you to get on the horn and talk to your clients. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever holiday. Happy Halloween, for goodness sake. If that's what you're into and you know your clients will be too, use it as a reason to reach out. Nobody's going to be rude during the holidays for you to just do a nice holiday greeting. They know you're in sales. Don't be afraid to do it. Tip number 4. I can't rave about this one enough. A good monthly touchpoint newsletter. It's a great way to engage with your leads. It showcases your expertise. It builds a trust. That monthly newsletter gives them a warm and fuzzy. They can sit down, they can read it when they want to. Drip campaigns are geared towards driving sales. Newsletters Focus on offering valuable insight, allowing recipients to get to know what your business desires are and how you can more deeply assist them in what they want in real estate. Use a site if you don't want to design these things yourself. We've talked about marketing. We know how difficult some of the marketing is. And if you can't look professional, for goodness sake, go out and pay for it and make sure that what you're paying for always makes you look at the pro level. Coordinate your content, especially during the seasons and the holidays. Don't forget to include community news for the area that you want to service. We've talked about your golden neighborhood. Here's your opportunity to build a relationship in the community that you want to service. And it's a great way to keep people in the loop and just build some general relationships together. Hey, pro tip, again, put your face on the newsletter. When they see you at these community events, when they see you at the holiday fair or at the local market, they need to know who you are. And if you see them grabbing their cart and going the other way in the grocery store, it worked. They know exactly who you are. You're their local real estate agent. They're frightened to talk to you. Chase them down. Go get them, Tiger. Tip number 5. Engage. And you can use social media to do it. Staying in touch with your social media is going to be critically important. These days, especially, engaging with your prospects on a social media platform instead of just using an email or a call or a text is going to help comment on prospecting. Send relevant articles. Tag them if you know they are a follower. It's a great new spot in town. It's a great new restaurant. You have a new community seasonal item that is about to happen, and you want to make sure they know about it. Keep the conversation going. I promise you, you will see those friends on social media turn into clients and referrals. It's going to take time. Nurture it. Nurture the relationship. 6. Direct mail is still fun. Complete pain in the ass, but super, super fun. For the days of phone calls, I'm telling you, you guessed it, letters in the mail. And the holiday season is the best time. People already want to see a Christmas card. That's almost gone the way of the dodo. I don't care if I get a Christmas card from a dentist. At least I got a Christmas card from somebody. Do it. It's middle of October. Get off your buttocks and build a nice little strategic plan for you to outreach to all of your clients, past, present, maybe some future in that golden neighborhood that you're working. Direct mail cannot be overlooked at its value. It's still a tried and true method. It is super cheap. Believe me, Postal Service, that was not a message for you to increase the price of postage stamp for the exact same service you've been providing me since the day I could lick an envelope. But as far as lead cost, you can't beat the price of a stamp and a little bit of advertising. Send out a postcard, send out a flyer, quarterly recipe. If you got somebody that's not opening your email on your monthly newsletter, put a holiday message in there, fold it up real nice, and send it to them. Take it further. Send a handwritten note, a warm lead, a cool postcard with your realtor information on one side, and on the other side, wish you were here, your friendly neighborhood real estate agent. Sign up to work for a direct mail to work with a direct mail company if you need them to do all of this for you. But don't miss a seamless mailing campaign in your opportunity stack. It's just great. It's golden stuff. There's lots of them out there. Literally, you could trip over a cajillion of those as well on the way to the mailbox. But when you're opening your mail and people are advertising for you, believe me, somebody went to the time and the effort of building that marketing. Take a look at the quality of the cardstock, the quality of how the pictures that are included were actually printed. You want to look like a pro, not somebody that spit it out on their local inkjet printer, and then as soon as it gets a little wet, Florida humidity, it starts to run like, I don't know, a fat kid at an ice cream shop. You have the option of scheduling campaigns for the entire year, ensuring that you remain top of mind and provide valuable information. Don't lose the opportunity. 7, host events. This one gets a little pricey, but a key element to having an effective lead nurturing system is to be able to connect face to face. And sometimes you need to build the face to face opportunity. When a lead has a chance to meet you in person, they are much more likely to feel comfortable and confident choosing your services. Organize something. Provide them with this opportunity. Host a class about the home buying process in a neighborhood. Throw a client appreciation event. Host an annual holiday party. Believe me, you probably better be doing something about how you convert a rental to a buyer, because the rental market is vast consumption mode right now, at least in the state of Florida. And if you don't help these people buy their own home, they're going to be trapped in the rental market forever and lose the opportunity to have a really secure investment. I've even invited leads to open houses in a way of just meeting them in person and showcasing my expertise and the style of home that I'm representing. Yes, I shouldn't even have to pro tip this one. Make sure it's a nice house in a community that you can really show off. Best practices for lead nurturing. If I was going to say here are the absolutes, and if you can incorporate these into your nurturing best practices or into your approach, you're going to have the opportunity to really show off your unique styles and those niches as agents and how you get these things done. Creating your own system and your own personal business is a great way to distinguish yourself from other agents. And believe me, the population will notice. Follow up promptly, stay organized, personalized communication, use multi-channel outreach, always provide valuable content, not just a picture show. Practice your patience. Use active listening. Tap into your customer service skills. Practice time management. Use past testimonials so that you can build some trust. Have confidence in your skill set. Automate your outreach. And set a pace and a time frame for some of these things so you can actually get things done. Got a couple of questions coming up on the live. I always like to reach out to these and at least give them some immediate attention, and then I follow up with them directly. So if you ever have a question, hit me up in the live channel here. I can see them here on my screen very easily. Happy to do it. How do real estate agents get leads? Look, there are a ton of ways to generate real estate leads. It is important for you to have multiple lead sources, because when one is slow, the other may not be. Real estate prospecting includes tapping into your sphere of influence, purchasing leads if you need to, leaving business cards at a local establishment. Social media advertising is huge right now and is probably the cheapest thing going. Circle prospecting, farm mailing, golden neighborhood, whatever you want to call it. Open houses are massive. They're making a huge comeback today, and generating referrals from your known database, just to name a few, is how I get leads. What do you feel is the most important thing about lead generation? That's a good question. How you generate leads in real estate is one thing, but turning them into a client is truly what counts. So without converting a lead into a client, we don't make any money, ultimately. So this becomes your key factor, your growth sustainability in the real estate business. So fine tune your lead gen conversion process. That's going to ensure steady flow of clients and income. So that hopefully answers your question. Without you creating a manufacturing opportunity for lead creation, it's going to be very difficult for you to generate final business contracts to close. What's the ROI behind lead nurturing? Oh, okay. I always like a technical question. Lead nurturing is automatically going to create a higher return on investment, always, especially more than leads that are not nurtured. Online Marketplace Institute company. This has been several years, so this may not be accurate numbers today, but 45% increase in lead generation ROI for those that were nurtured versus those that were just called or fed through a lead generation company. This is because when you nurture leads, you're going to start to form that relationship and build that trust. And now, as buyer agents need to be doing this more than ever because they have a relationship contract, it's critical for them to understand that the time and the energy that they are spending on getting a lead to client status is critical. Let me bring it all together and close this for you. Lead nurturing real estate is just like anything else. If you practice it and you're authentic, it will be successful for you. When you put together a thoughtful nurturing campaign with the help of a CRM, you're going to begin a warm, lasting relationship. There is a chance of turning that lead into a happy client, or better, having them refer you and creating a happy client. Lots of different strategies out there, but these are the ones that work best for me. And it's all about the relationship, the time and the energy that you are going to spend with your clients and others. Be direct, be honest, continue to be yourself. Thank everybody for joining today. I realize we've skipped a couple of meetings in the last few weeks. Unfortunately, we've had hurricanes barreling down on us in Florida. And yes, kids, I will still tell you, Florida is one of the greatest places to live. We deal with a few storms. It is unfortunate, and my heart goes out to all of those that were directly affected, both financially and personally. People have loss of life. They have lost things like their investments and their homes and their memories. Those things cannot be replaced. However, the place that you live and the place that you spend the most of your time and the places that you decide to grow up, mature, and build a family in is priceless. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Do not forget to tune in next week. Special holiday session I'm putting together for you. Sounds like there are some horrors involved in real estate. Have a great weekend, everybody. Recording's off.